Hello there! I am No Name and I'm back again for another installment of Sonia's Global League Adventure. This time around, we're going to be playing against Andy. Now, he's not exactly your top tier CEO. He's not Von Bolt, Hawk, Eagle, Max, or any of the other CEOs that I've showcased in my past videos. Actually, he's in the same tier as Sonia and Fog, that being tier 3. However, I believe Sonia is actually a bad matchup against Andy, simply because of her bad luck. But before we get into that, let's first introduce our COs. Let's talk about Andy. Now, his whole gimmick is that he doesn't really excel on anything. He doesn't have a day-to-day power. But what makes Andy better than most tier 4 COs, which is why he's tier 3, is basically his superpower. His normal power, Hyper Repair, it's not really that useful. Like for 3 stars, you're only gonna get 2 HP global heal. That's not that great. I guess it can be useful in some niche situations. For example, you're just 2 HP away from capturing a city, a very contested city, then maybe you can pop it, but most of the time what you really want to do is save up for Hyper Upgrade. Because basically what Hyper Upgrade does is that aside from the normal boosts like +1 movement, plus firepower, what it does is also heals all of your units by 5 HP. Now, 5 HP is a lot because at the very least, your units will be at 6 HP. And a 6 HP unit, for example, a 6 HP tank, can still do not heavy damage, but it can still do decent damage to opponents. Especially if you factor in the plus damage that Hyper Upgrade gives you, then it basically becomes an 8 HP unit in terms of its offensive power. So, the strategy against Andy is to make sure that none of his units survive once Hyper Upgrade is nearing. So once if you see Andy's power charge is already at like 4 stars, 5 stars, you better start killing his units. It's not worth it to take pot shots from time to time just to weaken his army because he's just gonna heal everything up. So what you really want to do is make sure that all of your engagements moving forward, once he's at like 4 stars, 5 stars, make sure that all of them are gonna be fatal engagements. Now, this is where Sonia's bad luck comes in. Because as you know, that's Sonia's gimmick. She has terrible luck. She has great counterattack +1 vision. We all know that. The thing with bad luck is that if you're used to playing other COs, there is a certain, I don't know, I guess expectation that units will die. For example, there's a tank in a forest and you have 1 comm tower. Normally, you're confident that that tank in the forest is gonna die if you attack it with 2 tanks. Because if you check the calculator, it's assured that that tank is going to die. With Sonia, because of the bad luck, there is a chance that that tank in the forest isn't going to die. And if it doesn't die, Andy can retreat it, wait for Hyper Upgrade, and bam! He has a new tank. Not a new tank, but his tank basically has just been revived. So that's one reason why Sonia is a bad match against Andy. The second reason is that Andy has better battle copters than Sonia. I've kept repeating that Sonia has good battle copters because once counter break pops in, then her battle copters are untouchable. Well, the same thing can be said about Andy. Once Andy's superpower is almost charged, like it doesn't have to be charged, like it just has to be at like 4 or 5 stars. Once it's at that range, all of his battle copters basically not becomes invulnerable, but it's a bad idea to attack his battle copters with your battle copters. Which is basically what makes Sonia's battle copters good in the first place, is that you can't attack them with other battle copters. Because if, for example, you attack Andy's battle copter with your battle copter and Hyper Upgrade is almost going to charge, once you do that engagement, you can just guarantee that the power meter is gonna be filled. And once that happens, he can just pop hyper upgrade and it would be as though that engagement never happened. So if you think about it, the threat of hyper upgrade basically works like counter break when it comes to battle copters. So that's why I think Andy's battle copters are a lot better than Sonya's, especially when they're matched up. So now let's move on to the map. This map, it's called 1v1 Marengo. And this is a very interesting map. I really like this map a lot because first, it's high income map. Like there's a lot of cities on the sides. In the middle, there isn't really a lot of contested properties here. These two really aren't that contested. It might look contested because it's far away from the base, but based from experience, the most contested properties are these ones on the sides, especially these two, and sometimes these two and then these two properties. Those are usually the most contested ones in the game. And the com tower, they also might look contested, but they're really not. It's too close to this base, and your base is just too far from the com tower, so it's not really a contested property. What is contested, or rather exposed, is the HQ. They're very exposed. They're kind of far away from your base and kind of near your base. So if ever you leave your HQ unguarded, there's a chance that your opponent might just grab it from you. There are even I wouldn't say meme strategies. There are cheese. Yeah, that's the proper term. The cheese strategy, where people just start rushing your HQ because it's so far away from your base that there's a chance that once an infantry gets here, there's still nothing that can interrupt it. So that can be an instant win. And I think that when I think the very first time that I played this map, that's exactly what happened to me. Like I lost this HQ because for some reason my opponent built a B-copter and there was an infantry here capping and I have nothing to stop it. So that's something that you have to take in mind when playing this game. So before we start the game, again, just like to remind you, we will be playing with fog off. So you will only be seeing the things from my perspective. And yeah, basically you get to play along with me and you'll be able to see what I see and understand my mindset while I was playing. So without further ado, let us begin. So I'm second turn, so I have an extra infantry. So just your usual capture phase, like go first for the neutral base, and then day 3, that's really what picks up. And again, just like the last game, day 3, I opened up a recon. The thing about opening early recons is that you must have an objective for it. Like, you can't just build an early recon and say, oh, it's just for the vision, I'll get vision. The thing is, there's a lot of mountains here which you can get vision. I would say that recons aren't that useful in the mid game because you have these mountains for vision here, and then you have this mountain as well to give you vision at the side. So I would say that a recon isn't really particularly important for this map, but the thing is, with early recons, again, you must have an objective, meaning you should have a property in mind that you would want to interrupt. When I built this recon, my goal was to interrupt this property, and then disrupt his entire capture chain here. Because once you interrupt this property, or you stop them from capturing, they're going to capture the other properties in a much slower rate, giving you distinct advantage later on in terms of income. So that is my objective when I built this day 3 recon. So that's one thing you remember. If you're gonna build an early recon, make sure you have a purpose for it. So day 4, and yeah, this is a pretty big map, so it's gonna take forever for us to see what he's building. So yeah, again, this recon, it's just going for this property. That's what its goal is. And yeah, don't know what's still happening, and then yeah, still don't see it. Even with Sonia vision, it's still not yet enough for me to get vision of this property, but it's fine. And then I built a tank here because I'm assuming that he's doing the same thing, that he's also going to interrupt this this property here. So just to get ahead of my opponent, I built a tank here so that once I'm ready to capture this property, I'll be able to have a tank like to scare away the recon. So yeah, I think day 6, and yeah, we still don't see anything from his side. And yeah, I get there and then I see that he's just capturing his property. So yeah, he doesn't have vision of this recon yet, and I'm assuming there's an infantry in this forest because it's just 3 spaces away from the base. So yeah, it's probably gonna capture this. But yeah, right now he doesn't have vision of this recon, so that's good. And I put this tank here because yeah, again, I want to scare any potential recon that's gonna come up here. Like if he does this, if he mirrors my movement and puts a recon in this property, I'll be able to strike it with a tank. So yeah, it's a strategy there. And yeah, I captured this, and yeah, just moving my infantry, and then I built a T-copter. My purpose with the T-copter is that since I built a tank here, my objective was to temporarily make this my strong side. So for me to have a strong side with only one base, I would have to rely on mechs for this one. So I'm planning to use this transport copter to not ferry mechs, but to ferry mechs on this side and make this and be as defensive here, because I'm assuming most of his stuff is gonna be going here trying to get these 2 properties. So I'm gonna prevent that by being more offensive in my weak side by building mechs. That's why the T-copter. And yeah, as expected, there was an infantry here capturing this property, and then he builds a recon. He has built a recon here, so I'm assuming since he saw this recon, he's probably gonna build a tank next turn. And yeah, these recons just staring at each other, they're not gonna attack. What I did was that since I know the base here, he didn't build a tank, so I know the earliest time that he could have built a tank was now, which, let's count the movement, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we build a tank here, it's not gonna reach my recon, so that recon isn't going anywhere. And by not going anywhere, it's denying this infantry from capturing this city and disrupting this entire chain over here. So, and yeah, as expected, there was a recon here, but this recon isn't gonna interrupt this infantry, because what are you gonna do about it? That recon's gonna die. So this tank already, I wouldn't say pay for itself, but it has certainly paid dividends at some point. And again, since I've mentioned this is gonna be my strong side, I'm building another tank here. I'm also building a mech with the transport copter, with the hopes that I'm gonna be ferrying it down south and making sure that I'm able to get these 2 properties before he does. So yeah, let's see what he does. He puts his recon on the forest, and I didn't see, but I think it was like an infantry here. And yeah, he retreats his recon to this forest, so that's fine. What's important is this didn't get interrupted, and because it didn't get interrupted, I have a capture chain here and capture chain here. So as you can see, he doesn't have a single infantry. He hasn't captured this yet. He has nothing to capture everything, and my infantries are already ready to capture these 2 contested properties. So that's why interrupting this property is really important. So yeah, the mech comes out, infantry moves forward, and then battle copter, because again, I'm playing as Sonia, and it's always a good idea to have battle copters. And if you notice, he already has an infantry that's captured this property at the edge. So that means that this infantry ran all the way to the base and made sure to rush this, because my infantry is just still here about to capture these properties on the side. So yeah, and he copied my strategy of just putting a recon in the city. So basically, I can't capture this this property, and at the same time, I can't also capture this property because the recon's just gonna interrupt it. So yeah, these 2 properties, right, for the time being, is denied for me. So, and yeah, he built a tank, but it's too late. My recon's already gone. And yeah, so what's next? What's next? Day 10 or day 9? Yeah, it's still day 9. So I just made sure, since I know the tank's here, made sure that it's not within range of the tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not gonna kill this recon. I get this property, I get the comm tower, and my mech starts moving at the center. Yeah, they just start firing infantry. Actually, yeah, the purpose was I know that the recon was here. So yeah, I just killed it, dead, and I see the APC here for some reason. When I saw the APC, that gave me a thought that, okay, maybe I'm a tank ahead of him, so I'm actually pretty strong on this side. So yeah, right now, yeah, he gets vision, and then he captures the comm tower, and he starts capturing this, and I still haven't captured it, so he's actually ahead in terms of the capture game. Although, looking at this now, it shows that we're equal, but he's already capturing these contested properties here, and I'm nowhere near here. Like this recon's really screwing with my game plan, because I can't capture the city, I can't capture the city. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this recon to leave. So yeah, infantry moves in, artillery comes out, and the tank comes out, and yeah, I'm not yet death balling. I'm just making sure that my units are within reinforcement range of one another. And then again, I safely place my tank on a city because again, I'm Sonia. If he does attack me, his tank is gonna die. And I also made sure the tank is hidden in the forest. And I also built it's actually a late anti-air. It's day 10, so yeah, that's kind of late. But again, if you can see, I'm actually focusing a lot of my units at the bottom. Though I also have some tanks and helicopters, so maybe I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, he attacks, kills one of my infantry. Yeah, this was a mistake. Like, look at that. Spot the mistake. Doesn't capture the comm tower. Takes the engagement. If he hadn't captured, maybe this would have been like a 8 to 3 engagement. I don't know. But yeah, that infantry is still dead, so it wasn't that much of consequence. And yeah, I saw an infantry here, and then he gets vision of the center. And there's the tank, there's one tank, there's 2 tanks, 3 tanks, and I'm like, okay, holy shit, I'm not going to push through here. Because first, not only don't I have the units, at the same time, I know that most of his stuff is localized in the center, which means he doesn't have a lot of presence on the sides. If he doesn't have a lot of presence in the side, that means I'll be able to capture these 2 cities. But if you look at my current movements, I probably wasn't thinking that, because I just went ham and killed all and damaged the infantry that I could get. I guess the reason why I did that is I was feeling brave because I had this mech here. So if he wanted to attack this recon, he has to answer to my mech. Not to mention, I also have a tank and a battle copter ready to reinforce. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units that can retaliate if ever he pushes with the attack and kills my recon plus other infantry. So I have a fairly good counter attack if he ever goes for the offensive. So yeah, built another recon, and I also, because I expect this to die, so I built another recon, and then again I built another battle copter. And yeah, so now I'm capturing this contested property, and he hasn't even touched this, because if you remember, I interrupted this cap. That's why he has nothing capping this. He has nothing capping these 3 properties. So that recon interrupt earlier that I did is paying dividends right now. So yeah, I see the anti-air, so I should be careful with my battle copter from that. And yeah, as expected, he killed the recon. Recon goes south and damages this infantry, kills the infantry, and then he kills the oh, okay. I thought he was gonna kill this infantry so that he can reach the mech. I guess he didn't have an infantry to damage the mech, because like a tank on mech engagement with mech on an allied city isn't really a winning engagement for my opponent. And I guess it's also because he also saw my anti-air. And does he see my artillery? He doesn't see my artillery, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he takes a cheap shot at my, what do you call this, transport copter, and he goes back to the city. Another infantry comes in, and he kills the one on the road. And yeah, there's like a lot of infantries here. So when I saw this, I'm like, okay, he's pushing hard in the center. But just like what I mentioned, I have a pretty good counterattack. And because he already got rid of the recon, I can now capture this city that's been so contested. Like, he already captured his two cities on this side of the map, so I'm like, I need to catch up on my capture game right now. And yeah, I did a sneaky move. I captured this property on the side, and then I grabbed the 5 HP infantry that's been damaged and just used as a blocker. So now there's nothing he can do to interrupt this gap. So that's mine. Yeah, too bad for you, mate. So yeah, I captured this. So I already captured both of these contested properties. He hasn't captured it yet. I'm not even sure if he has something to capture. Maybe this infantry. But yeah. So yeah, tank comes in and infantry. That could have been a bad luck. Thankfully, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad luck, and the recon didn't die. And yeah, just started killing his infantry. Mech hits. Takes a good shot at this tank, and then tank kills this. Tank finishes the job, and artillery holds down the position. So since I know there's an anti-air here, and he's already seen my battle copter because of the recon, but I made sure that I didn't throw away this anti-air because I have to save that for counter break. So yeah, I know it's anti-air here, so I just made sure that this copter isn't in any range of that. So yeah, and I started capping I'm already capping his contested property, because these properties should belong to me, and these properties should belong to him. But the thing is, he's pushing hard on center, and just like what I mentioned, there isn't really a lot of contested properties in the center, and they're not even that contested to begin with. So yeah, and since he kept pushing in the center, I made sure to solidify my presence there, at the same time capping these two contested properties here. And recon comes out. The objective of this recon is just to deal with the infantries on the side. Like, if you don't want to dedicate a tank, but at the same time you want to deal with infantry, so recon really is the best solution. So again, just battle copter spamming, and yeah, build a tank battle copter. So I'm doing the battle copter tank combo right now. So okay, tank comes out, kills my infantry captures, kills this infantry. I'm like, okay, and then APC comes in, and then that's weird. If I were him, I wouldn't have placed this on top of the city, because like I'll get vision of that infantry. But since he doesn't know that there's like an infantry in this forest, so he doesn't know that I have vision here. But what he could have done is maybe place his infantry literally anywhere else. Maybe put it in the forest. I don't know. I think putting it on my city was a bad call. And yeah, he gets a good shot at my mech with his infantry, so that mech is dead. And he finally starts capping the city. But again, because of the early interrupt, it's kind of too late. I already have an infantry here that can't interrupt this cap. So yeah, that's further delaying your income, buddy. So yeah, he just kills the infantry, he retreats, and he pulls all of his infantry on this side. So this side is actually more advantageous for him because his two bases here, he could easily reinforce that. So I shouldn't push through here. I should capitalize. I should consider my win to the center and capitalize on these free properties on the side. That's what I should do. But what do I actually do? Let's see. Day 13, and I did again the stupid thing. I attacked the infantry with an anti-air. So yeah, I need to protect this what do you call this anti-air. I also spot this anti-air here on the south, so that tells me that okay, don't send copters here because there's an anti-air. That tells me push the copters to the side here to the northern corner. So artillery fires back. Yeah, I just start killing his infantries really, and yeah, I interrupt this cap. That's dead. You're not gonna capture that. I'm also capturing this property, and from the looks of it, there's nothing to interrupt me. And since I already figured that, okay, I think I won in this corner already. Like, he doesn't have much of a presence here, which means most of his presence is maybe south, maybe somewhere here in this area. So what I do is I stop pushing here and I shift all my tanks to the south, and even my battle copter, I even shifted my battle copter south, despite the fact that there's an anti-air here. And the reason why is that I felt confident because, like, I mean, I have 3 tanks here. Actually, I have 4 tanks. So this anti-air isn't really gonna do anything. Because like, this 3 tanks makes, just shuts it down. So, copter, yeah. Tank, triple tank build. Okay, so I'm really pushing for the offensive here. So, and then this happened. I'm like, when I set up this position, I thought he had no vision of my 3 tanks here in the center. Like, he knows they're there, but I was thinking he doesn't have vision over them. Because he has nothing on these 2 mountains. So I'm like, how did he get vision when he hit my tank? There's another tank. And okay, there's a 3rd tank on the city. So this was a really bad turn for me. Because like, yeah, another tank kills the tank on the city and another tank damages the anti-air. And I'm like, God damn it, that's huge. Like, I basically lost my entire tank on the middle while it was trying to shift down south. So it was intercepted, and I'm like, and I had counter break too. I was saving those tanks for a good counter break. Like, they could attack and then I would pop counter break and he wouldn't be able to touch any of my tanks. Well, now that's not gonna happen because like half of my tanks, actually more than half of my tanks are damaged. So yeah, anti-air comes out, whatever. And yeah, this was a bad turn for me. A really, really bad turn. So, and the only good thing about this turn is that at least he didn't get hyper upgrade. He almost got hyper upgrade, but thankfully he didn't, because if he had hyper upgrade, then all of these tanks would have been good as him. So yeah, thankfully that didn't happen. So what do? Pop counter break and 1 tank. So this tank here is untouchable. Oh wait, there's a battle copter that can damage my tank even on counter break. That sucks, but that's fine. And I make sure that I kill all the units that I can touch with. Yeah, you're not going to escape this alive. I captured this city successfully, and then I did something stupid. You know what I remember what I mentioned about hyper upgrade, that once it's about to fully charge, you really don't want to take cheap shot at your opponents. This is the reason why, because like, he already has his hyper upgrade charged, and I basically wasted his 4 HP infantry, or rather 4 HP tank, taking a cheap shot at this anti-air that's going to get healed up anyway. So what I should have done probably is maybe, I don't know, put this here in the city and make sure that it gets healed or whatever. But yeah, this was a dumb move. If you're playing against Andy, don't do this. You're just throwing away units. But yeah, as mentioned, as much as possible, you want to kill, not leave 1 HP infantry. So knowing that, I sacked my 3 HP anti-air, and yeah. So all of my forces are going south, the tanks, and put an infantry here in the mountain just to make sure that this city doesn't get captured. Because what he can do is he can pop hyper upgrade, is going to be at full HP, then he'll be capping this property at full HP. So we don't want that. And yeah, just protect this tank. And then I built a medium tank because I assume I need something to shut down all of these tanks here in the center, and I think he's out tanking me at the moment. So I think in the last turn I did a decent job of killing his weakened units. My only stupid mistake was this anti-air, so that's gonna get healed up. So he pops hyper upgrade. Let's see how much he regains in unit value. It's not that big. It's 5,000. It's a recon basically, but you know, it was still effective. Like, that's still dead, but because of counter break, I was able to damage this anti-air, so that's funny. And this comes in, didn't even damage the freaking copter. Yeah, that tank's dead. Anti-air is dead. Recon almost dead. There's something buggy with the UI with counter break, I just noticed. Like, I know it's first strike, but you don't have like to. It's a UI bug with counter break. If the developer of the replay viewers watching, something to take note, but whatever, it's fine. And yeah, I don't know why he did this engagement. It's weird. Like, yeah, sure, you can double strike it. Like, look at that. It's like I won both engagements because I'm gonna be at 7 HP. So this is the power of counter break. Like, mirror matchups really don't work out. So yeah, APC comes, retreats, probably fetching more infantry, and yeah, he was super brave here. Like, he did not give a crap about my counter break. Like, he just kept attacking, even if I got first strike. And yeah, and then the copter comes in, dead, and the artillery. Yeah, because of I have what you call this. I have counter break. I can see that this artillery is in the forest, so I know that, yeah, let's just avoid that. So yeah, day 15 rolls in, and right now I think, not only think, but I am losing in terms of unit value. But the thing that's keeping me in the game is the huge income lead. I have 23,000 income lead to this 18. That's a 5,000 gold swing. And I would credit that huge income lead to the interrupt that I did to this property. Because I stopped him from getting this property, he didn't get these properties. And I was the one who managed to get it from him. And he still hasn't captured these properties, so that's why he's really lagging behind. But yeah, now I'm capturing this property here. And I did the same trick that I did with this property. I used this transport copter to block. And yeah, I killed the anti-air Maya. Right now, since he doesn't have hyper upgrade anymore, I'm kind of okay with not killing all of his units. But as Andy, that's always good practice, really. So yeah, battle copter comes in, and yeah, here's the reason why Andy's battle copters are much better than Sonya's. He can just retreat this battle copter for like maybe 4 turns, and then once he has his hyper upgrade ready again, they're just going to come back to life. So yeah, that's why if you really want to counter Andy's battle copters, you have to go anti-air and not battle copter, because you're gonna lose if you do that. And yeah, this gives me a lot of vision. Gives me vision of 4 tanks. So building this medium tank really was a good decision on my part, because this medium tank, once it becomes online, it's just gonna tank. It's just gonna shut down its entire tank aggression. So yeah, I make sure that this doesn't reach, right? Like right now it shows it reached because it has superpower, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this copter isn't gonna reach this copter, so that's fine. And then tanks going south, and then I built 2 anti-airs and a copter because again, I realized that building battle copters to counter Andy's battle copters isn't really going to work. I need a hard counter, which is anti-air, because I need to one-shot all of his battle copters right now. So because like, yeah, that's the 3rd battle copter I saw, and yeah, he still hasn't killed this. This transport copter is doing work. It made me capture this property, and it's gonna make me capture this property, giving me, holy crap, I think around 8k lead. That's a freaking lot. So yeah, and he tries to capture this with the 8 HP, and yeah, whatever. So the tank comes in, and then he pulls all of these tanks on the south. And when I saw this, I'm like, okay, then I'll just push somewhere else, and I'll push here. It was like, these tanks are too far away to shift sides. So that, seeing this because of my recon, gave me strategic info that okay, maybe I just should push harder here, because like all of these units are clumped down to the south, and it's not really doing anything really. So yeah, that's dead. And yeah, don't do this. Not really don't do this, but like, if you notice, it's a futile engagement because this copter can retreat, and once again hyper upgrades ready, they're just gonna come back to life. So it's not really like a good counter. But yeah, anti-air is finally coming in, tanks are coming in to the side, and yeah, I'm being very cautious with my movements apparently. But yeah, I am moving all of my stuff to this side of the map already, since he doesn't have any infantry here, at least not that I can see. So I'm kind of secure that he's not gonna snipe any of my properties here. Anyway, so yeah, I just start killing his infantry because his vehicles here are gonna be useless if he doesn't have infantry. So yeah, I just made sure to kill all of them. And then of course the Sonia bomber. Like that's just a thing. Like I have 25k, I'm Sonia, let's build a fucking bomber. Alright, his tank, he's super over committing to this side, and what does he get really? He kills a recon and like 2 wounded infantries. That's not a lot, but yeah, I see this artillery here. He doesn't know that I have 2 tanks that's just going to punish this this artillery, and I also have an anti-air that's going to hard counter this battle copter. So far I am pretty confident with my options right now. So day 17 rolls in, and then I see this tank on a city. He probably thought it was safe to put his tank there. Nope, I have a medium tank, bitches. So tank comes in, and then I capture this city, hoping that I'm not really ambitious. That I don't think that I'm gonna capture this, but it should have been enough to scare the bejesus out of him. So I place artillery here, even though it doesn't really defend the city or defend this infantry. But you know, if ever he does decide an all-out attack and try to damage this tank, at least I have the medium tank and artillery to respond. I also use this copter to block, make sure that the artillery is protected. And yeah, I just retreat my 7 HP infantry. It's not going to be super useful, but it can interrupt these scouts if ever he tries something cheeky. So bomber comes in, and my counter break is almost online. The ideal situation is I get this bomber in the middle, and then I pop counter break. And like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about my bomber? Absolutely nothing. So I hit this artillery, and then what the hell did I just do? I'll tell you what I just did. I misclicked because I was so excited in trying to kill this artillery that I thought that when I moved the tank here, I was going to hit the artillery. I forgot to remove this infantry, and because I was so pissed at my mistake, I attacked this artillery with my infantry, doing no damage at all, when in fact what I could have done is suicide this infantry to interrupt this scout. Now, because of my silly mistake, because of my rage movements, I failed to capture, or I failed to stop this scout, and he's gonna get that property next turn. Which sucks, but that's fine. That's the way of life. And also made sure that this artillery is in full protection mode of all these tanks. So if ever this copter tries to attack any of these tanks, I have an anti-air that's just waiting in the back line. So I try to capture the comp tower, and I spot this this battle copter. That's fine. And then yeah, I just move in, and then I built more anti-airs because I've been seeing a lot of anti-airs here, and I also know that he has a lot of wounded anti-airs. So I'm guessing, okay, we will try to stop his air game. Let's build anti-airs, and let's build a lot of copters. So day 18 rolls in. He captures this property. I mean, this property belonged to him anyway, but I wanted to keep that income lead because look at our income lead. It's 6k. It was 8k a while ago. So yeah, if I had just maintained that for like another turn, it would have been really bad for him. So yeah, he retreats his artillery. And another bad thing is that I didn't kill the artillery. Therefore, once hyper upgrade comes in, that artillery is gonna come back alive and probably shoot at a tank or something. I don't know. And yeah, he doesn't kill my infantry, but it's fine. And yeah, copter comes in. Yeah, but not to worry, I have an anti-air there and another copter. So my build of building copter and anti-air turns out to have worked because he has a lot of copters, and I have like I have 3 anti-airs that's just ready to respond. So I'm feeling confident with my build. I think I've made the right decision. And does he interrupt the scap? He doesn't interrupt the scap. Okay. So what happened was he got this property, but I'm gonna get the middle property because he didn't interrupt it. So again, we are at an 8k. I'm at an 8k advantage. Not to mention, I also start killing all of this stuff. Dead. And yeah, dead. I made sure to kill that artillery because I do not want it to come back to life. And I interrupted this, which was kind of futile because he was gonna get hyper upgrade anyway, so he's definitely gonna capture this property. So, but yeah, that's dead. You're not gonna come back to life, man. Counter break. Kaka counter break. And when I saw this, like, it's a wounded B-copter here. It's a wounded tank here. Oh crap, he's gonna have a super powerful hyper upgrade. And yeah, if you notice, I started suiciding units to this B-copter. Like boom, and I hit this B-copter, hoping that I would have reduced it to 2 HP. And if I had reduced it to 2 HP, this tank would come in and kill this B-copter. But it didn't. As a result, look at that. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 units that are just gonna come back to life as soon as he pops hyper upgrade. That's a lot. And yeah, I just built 2 anti-airs because like, okay, he has a lot of B-copters. I have to kill every single one of them. So yeah, just 2 anti-airs and a B-copter. I'm just shutting down his air game because his land game, like his tanks and all, I have a bomber to respond as well as a medium tank, so I'm not really that concerned. With his land units, it's more really of his B-copters. So yeah, this bomber wasn't in time. I wanted this bomber to attack and then I pop counter break. That's really the ideal situation with Sonia bombers, but you can't always get what you want. So infantry's move, day 19, and yeah, copter just goes back. I wouldn't have retreated this. Oh, okay, yeah, he's gonna attack. Yeah, he attacks the artillery. Yeah, he just swats my medium tank, reduces it to 4 HP. Then tank comes in, kills the artillery, and then tank comes in, kills the infantry, and he does a mistake here. He doesn't pop hyper upgrade and then capture. He would have already captured this property if it weren't for that. But yeah, he just maybe he realized that mistake. It's a bit too late. He could have captured this property already, but whatever. And yeah, even with counter break, he's super brave. He's still attacking my infantry. Look at that. It takes 3 infantries to kill Sonia city on an infantry with counter break. That's kind of funny. And yeah, he's super brave. Like, he doesn't give a crap about my counter break. He just keeps attacking. And yeah, kills my infantry. He's just eating all of the first strike. He's like, I don't give a crap about your first strike advantage. I'm gonna kill all of you because I have so many B-copters. Like, he has 3 right now, and there's probably like 2 in the back line. So like, crap. Okay, let's kill you now. Boom, and bomber comes in, and look at that. With Sonia's bad luck and Andy's hyper upgrade defense, the bomber actually can't one-shot this, so I had to use this B-copter to make sure that that tank dies and my my medium tank can escape and put in the city where it can start healing. It also opened up the path so I can attack this B-copter, and I have another anti-air coming in. So yeah, right now his air game is pretty much shut down. Like, I have a B-copter, an anti-air, and 2 anti-airs that are still gonna come. Like, right now I think I have more anti-air than tanks. So, and then I built a neo tank. Like, if the bomber wasn't enough to shut down his air to shut down his land game, the neo tank definitely will. So finally captures this city, so he's trying to claw back from the income, but yeah, that's still 6k income, and it's been, I think, many days since I've been ahead by a lot. So that's probably been accruing. Like, I shouldn't know his unit value and his unit count, but look at that. And if you've been watching the game, our engagements have been pretty equal, really. I'm not being ahead in terms of engagement, but because of the huge income disparity, look at our unit value. Like, the disparity is kind of speaking for itself. But yeah, he damages the anti-air, and then he thought that because this anti-air is damaged, he probably thinks that, okay, all of his copters are free to do whatever the hell they want. And he even traps my medium tank. So yeah, and it's so obvious that I got like an ass beating, because like, look at that, my my superpower is almost again online. And yeah, I kill that tank, kill that with my medium tank, and then I get vision and look at that. Holy crap, does he have a lot of battle copters. Thankfully, I built the perfect response. I have 3 anti-airs on the 3 anti-airs waiting, and I also have 2 battle copters. So that's enough to wipe every single one of his battle copter. I actually have 4 anti-airs because I have another one here. So yeah, I joined units because I want to capture these properties next turn. And then knowing that there's nothing here anymore, I shift my units from the western flank to the center with the objective of joining the fight here in the middle. So yeah, this is why, because when I saw this, I'm like, that battle copter is just gonna get revived again. Why did I hit it? But yeah, copters are the anti-air is coming in, and the thing is, he doesn't have any vision. First, he doesn't have a copter. Second, I have complete control of this mountain, so he doesn't have vision of my 3 anti-airs at the back. So he probably thinks this is my only anti-air, and chances are he's gonna attack with his tank, and then his battle copters are gonna swarm all over my army, thinking that I don't have any more anti-air. But he's super wrong in that regard. So yeah, I built another anti-air because like that's a lot of copters you got there. It would be a damn shame if I had like 7 anti-airs to counter you. So transport copter comes in day 21, and then this one gets vision. What does he see? Doesn't see the anti-air, doesn't see the neo tank. He only sees the bomber, which he already knows exists. So copter comes in, and yeah, as expected, he damages the anti-air. I don't know what he did with this. Oh yeah, I guess he revealed the thing in the forest so that he can, I don't know what he's doing here. But yeah, he must have been very confident that he hit my anti-air. But he saw the second anti-air, so yeah. Now he knows that I have 2 anti-air here. So, and then third one, he finally gets vision, so he knows my 3rd anti-air. And at this point, my opponent's probably like, I've made a big mistake, because all of my copters are gonna die. So yeah, it just goes ham. And this is, I guess, this is like a puzzle for me at this point. Right now, in my mind, I was like, okay, how I need to finish this turn by making sure that all of his battle copters are dead. Would it be doable with the army that I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 anti-airs, 1 of which is wounded. I have a battle copter here. That's 5. So, question is, am I able to kill every single one of his battle copters right now? Because look at that, he almost has his superpower. So I really need to make sure that they all die. So let's see if I'm able to do it. So with my medium tank, I heavily damage the APC. I kill the infantry at the mountain just to deprive him of vision really. I used the 4 HP anti-air to kill the weakened battle copter, that's 1. Neo tank kills this tank and top counter break. I don't know why I delayed my counter break. Yeah, whatever. For some reason I delayed my counter break. And then tank kills the APC, bomber kills tank, and copter kills battle copter, so you're not gonna get revived this time. Anti-air kills another copter, kills another copter, kills another copter, and at this point I'm not seeing any more battle copters. They're all dead now. So yeah, and I think I also did a good job of making sure that none of his units get healed. Like, he's gonna get this healed, and yeah, he's probably gonna capture that property, but look at that. This is why Sonia's bombers are just the best, especially once you have counter break. Look at that, anti-air attacks my bomber. Not gonna happen, bro. I mean, it didn't die because Andy has superpower and it's on a city, but still, look at that. How are you gonna touch my bomber? And with all of his battle copters dead, he has no choice but to resign. So that was Sonia versus Andy for you. Let's see the stats. If you look at it, how do I see the things that I've killed? Kills 50 to 38. I mean, if you don't take into consideration the last turn where I just massacred all of his battle copters, I think that our KD was pretty much equal. However, as soon as I killed all those battle copters, like that's when the game really turned. But the thing is, look at our total generated funds. I generated 330,000 as compared to his 277,000. That's basically 60,000 to my advantage just because I delayed this cap. So if there's one thing that you can take away from this game is delay this capture, because it's going to delay so much of your opponent's economy. And if you're playing Sonia against Andy, I guess number one, don't. But if you do, don't rely too much on luck to finish off Andy's units, because you really do need to kill them and you need to have some allowance for the bad luck. Make sure that you kill all of his units. So that's it for today. I think this was a pretty good game, and it was really an enjoyable match for me. Finally, I played Sonia without, I guess, a handicap. Although, in my opinion, playing Sonia against Andy is a handicap, but whatever. It's not as a big. It's not that big. And so that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. All of that YouTube stuff. And I will see you guys again next week. Bye bye.